Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can buy your crypto tokens, regardless of which type of investor you are, if you want to buy on a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. I'm going to explain the differences in both, and maybe you'll reconsider what strategy you originally had. I hope you've been following along. I put together a playlist trying to release a video every single day to help those of you who are new to crypto succeed in the 2024 to 2025 bull run. So if you appreciate all that, make sure you go right ahead and hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you follow me on Twitter. If you want extra coaching, guidance, and support above and beyond these videos, the Web3 Secret Society can really help you out, or a private video call to make sure that you've got that plan so that you can succeed in the bull run. So let's go back and review the three archetypes from a few videos ago. We've got the comfortable person who wants to keep it simple, doesn't want to put that much effort into their gains, so 2 to 5x on their investment is great, and they want to have it simple, so centralized exchanges are great. The other two want to make more gains, so they'll be using decentralized exchanges, which also give them access to a wider variety of tokens. So I found this very good article sort of describing what a centralized crypto exchange is, short for CEX, centralized exchange. Basically, they are so popular because they are the easiest way to buy crypto, especially if you're new. You don't have to have any knowledge. Anyone is familiar with opening up apps or logging into your bank account and buying something. It's basically a digital currency trading platform. The reason we call it a centralized crypto exchange is there is a central entity or a company that acts as that sort of broker between the buyers and the sellers. Now, a centralized exchange will store the digital assets on behalf of you. So even though you own it, they have custodial rights. So if the centralized exchange, for example, was to go down, well, you lose your tokens. And that is one of the biggest risks here. So they hold the private keys to the client's wallet, something I mentioned. They also force you to do what's called a know your customer process. This is where you have to comply with regulatory activities. Basically, they verify who you are. They want to make sure you're not doing anything shady, and also make sure, when it comes time to tax time, that you're not avoiding that either. So once you've submitted your documents, then you have the ability to fund your account and start trading on those centralized exchanges. And they have a sort of order book matches most of the time that they can help you with, or they have a spread of their own with the worst services where you'll have to sort of pay higher fees as well. So some people don't like this. And there are some centralized examples called Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken. Kraken is available in Canada and the US. Binance, I think, is only available in the US and some parts of Canada, if any, and Coinbase is available in both. There are many centralized exchanges. I'm going to show you a really neat way to find out the one that might be best for you in a second. Now, the obvious biggest benefit is if you're a newbie, it's a very user-friendly interface, simple to use. You don't have to know anything about crypto, just that you want something. And if they list it, you can buy it. The problem is most of them don't have a lot of cryptocurrency tokens, and within centralized exchanges, some offer more than others. For example, I suspect Binance offers a wider variety of tokens than Coinbase and Kraken. Obviously, the individual cryptocurrency, it's very sort of dependent. Now, if we take a look over here and you want to actually get, you want to go in and find out if something's available, you go to CoinMarketCap. I hope you've bookmarked this website. I'm going to keep including the link here. You find whatever token you want. Let's say you want Solana. You click on Solana, and it takes you here. You see the chart, and below you can see Solana markets. You can pick all, or you can pick CEX for centralized exchange, or DEX for decentralized exchange. Make sure you keep it on spot. What I want to also reemphasize here is the difference between spot and perpetuals. Whenever we talk about buying and holding on to something, actually owning the asset, that means spot. Perpetual is when you are basically betting on the movement in an asset's price, but you don't own the asset, but your position is open as long as you have enough margin and you have to pay interest fees, borrow fees, all things like that. Spot is way better for everybody in general. And then when you do perpetual or leverage, that's more of an advanced thing to do, and I would not recommend that for any beginners. As always, remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube because I didn't say it already, and I say this in every video because I want you to remember it. So what we do is we go to Solana, and we see here that Binance is one of the top centralized exchanges. So you see it's right here. You can, and it's available there. So is Bybit, Coinbase, OKX. You can see here it has on Kraken. So you can go in here and exactly find out which token you want. And obviously, if you know what portfolio you want, because you should be planning it out. If you want the portfolio I showed you in the previous video of Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Pepe, and then Tau or Bittenzer, then you can look up all 5 tokens and see which one is available on the same centralized exchange, which centralized exchange has all of those tokens. And then based on that, maybe you choose that. That's probably a really good way to plan it out. Although, like I said, I think Binance pretty much has all of those. Now, one other thing that you want to do is just going back here, I want to explain what a decentralized exchange is. Make that comparison, and then we'll go forward. I'll show you an example of a centralized exchange. So decentralized exchanges, and by the way, a disadvantage I mentioned for centralized exchanges is that you don't have any control over your crypto wallet keys. You can lose, you lack direct access to your assets if something shuts down. Also, security issues is a problem. So sometimes if it's a small centralized exchange, they can lose money, or the founders can run away, like the case in South Africa, and investors lose money. One thing here though is they're also controlled by regulated entities that basically make sure that, for example, if they want to delist a token, it's gone. This happened with XRP when the SEC opened an unlawful lawsuit against them. So centralized exchanges, to wrap up, are fantastic because they're built with the novice investor in crypto in mind. They are much more secure than decentralized. I'll explain why in a second. They have customer service that can help you. In most cases, I find Coinbase support to be god awful, let's just say, but for the most part, it's good. And disadvantages: you don't own your keys. That's probably the biggest disadvantage. And because of that, obviously, there can be some issues. A decentralized exchange is an exchange built atop a decentralized non-custodial blockchain system that has peer-to-peer transactions directly. What that means is there's no company that's in the way. You're basically able to interact directly with the platform. There's nobody stopping you. Now, this approach eliminates the needs for intermediaries, and you don't have to complete a KYC process. That's a huge boon for people who want to keep stuff anonymous. And then also for DEXs and your private keys, you have full autonomy over your private keys because they're in your assets. I'm not going to sort of go into too much details on this. I will cover some of the wallets you can get that will help you in this process. So we mentioned the KYC part and owning it. The big disadvantage is sometimes there's low liquidity on certain platforms. I'm going to share with you one of the best platforms that I use. And like I said, this is just scratching the surface, because if you truly are interested in going on chain, you're going to need a lot more than the resources that I provide you. In fact, that's why I recommend those who are interested, check out the Web3 Secret Society, because it is definitely a great spot to learn a lot. Now, the other thing is you need to have some technical expertise to use DEXs. You wouldn't know offhand exactly what to do. You wouldn't know if you're buying the right tokens, because sometimes there are 30 different versions of a token. And if you don't have the right contract address, which I will show you how to do in a second, you may buy the wrong thing. So it makes all of these things complicated. And that's why you have to balance convenience and sort of security with also just, hey, do you want to own your own keys? Do you want to be able to make a lot more money? Going back to this example, you see here, we can go to Binance to buy our Solana, but we can also go to a DEX and buy Solana on Radium or Orca or PancakeSwap. Obviously, some of these don't have it. It really depends on how much volume. This helps you identify if this is actually a good chain to use versus or a good protocol to use or a good decentralized exchange to use. Now, if you're looking for examples of centralized exchanges, Robinhood, I heard, is a very decent one in the States. Binance is great in both US and some parts of Canada. Kraken is good in both US and Canada. Coinbase, I wouldn't really recommend them. This is my account I'm showing you right here. I don't really have anything in here because what I typically do is I use centralized exchanges to fund my decentralized wallet. And the reason for that is you have to onboard your money somehow. And one of the biggest issues that decentralized platforms have, and being on chain, is you have to get crypto from somewhere in order to buy. There are very few on-ramps to crypto, and even those will require KYC for the most part. So over here, you can see this is the very basic Coinbase platform. You see, I already have my payment method from before, 12,000 limit. I've already passed it. Unfortunately, can't use it. But I click on this. I go buy Bitcoin. I can select whatever token that's in here that I want. Ethereum, Solana, XRP, whatever. They got a list of tokens. It's not fully expansive. While you may think, wow, there's thousands of tokens, it may not have the exact tokens you want. This is where the benefits of a decentralized exchange are, because decentralized exchanges, there's some spot that the token is available that you want, and if you use the right platform, you'll be able to get it. Now, if you are interested in a decentralized exchange, you will need to have a crypto wallet. So a centralized exchange, they provide you the wallet that you're using when you log into the app. It's done for you. You don't see it. It's all that stuff. On decentralized exchanges, you will need like a browser or a mobile wallet. A very popular one was called MetaMask. I actually prefer Rabby wallet. Rabby is just MetaMask that has been so much more improved. I think it's way better, beginner friendly, because it allows you to do a lot of things within the app that are, much more simple and much more streamlined. If you want a video on how to set up your Rabby wallet, I have made this guide for those of you who are interested. You can also go and buy get the Phantom wallet. You don't have to buy it. Sorry, these are free. Phantom can be used for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana, whereas Rabby is really just used for Ethereum and its Ethereum virtual machine ecosystem. I would get both wallets if you are interested in having some ETH and some SOL. And then also, I would look at Jumper Exchange. Jumper Exchange is probably the best platform for crypto newbies and crypto advanced people alike. What you have to do, this is more of an aggregator than a decentralized exchange, but it gets the tokens to your fingertips. So what you do first is you hit the connect button. You select the wallet you want. In this case, if you got Rabby wallet installed or Phantom, you can select that. I'll click Rabby here. It will just ask me to connect. I've done it. And like I said, you have to, if you want to buy something, you'll go in here, you'll pick what you're trading. Now, this is why you need to have some tokens. So I got like 7 Ethereum here, and maybe I want to sell some Ethereum. So I will do this transaction. By the way, just to be clear, the chain I'm using is ZK Sync. This is another complexity of a decentralized exchange. You'll have to pick the chain you want to work on, and there's so many of them. And this is why it gets so complicated. And my videos, I don't have the time to make a video on every specific nuance, but you pick the chain you want to work on. In this case, I'll just go to the Ethereum mainnet chain. I will then go and look at Ethereum. I got 9 Ethereum here. Maybe I want to sell it for Ethereum, USDC on Ethereum. So let's check that out. I'll type in USDC. I'll type in 1 Ethereum over here, and you can see that it will get me, this one seems to be buggy, but it's offering me $3,720 right here, and an $8 gas fee, and it'll take 30 seconds. So I click this button here. I can click the start swapping. It'll go through the process. It'll ask me to accept some stuff that you can't see because it's pop-up, but you just hit some okay, you confirm, and then you're good to go. I declined it, just so you know. Now, If you're interested as well, when you're on chain, you want this website as well. It's called Gecko Terminal. You can go in here and type in what coin you're interested in. So let's say I want Pepe. I type in Pepe, and you see here, it brings this up. What you were looking for here is the token with the highest liquidity. It's likely going to be the one that's the most popular, the one that you want. Make sure it's on the right chain. Pepe is on the Ethereum mainnet chain. And to confirm, I will go back to coinmarketcap.com and I will go down here, click on Pepe, right? While it's loading, I'm going to look for the contract address. The contract address is right here, right? Ends in 311933. I'll click this button to copy to clipboard. I can also see here, if I click decentralized exchange, where it's available to trade. Let's go over here and now click Pepe. And now let's verify. You see here, the contract for Pepe is right here. So this is the right one that I want. And now I can click on trade and I can go to Uniswap if I want to, and I can make the trade that I want. Like I said, this is probably going over some of your heads because obviously it's very complicated, but I can basically go in here now and buy some Pepe if I want to. And the beauty about working on chains, you don't just need to have US dollars. I can say, hey, you know what? I want to trade 1 Ethereum. How much Pepe will it give me, right? Of course, there are also gas fees. This is the other downside on working on chain. You have to pay gas every time you do a transaction. But then again, you have to pay fees to your centralized exchange every time you want to do a trade. So that kind of sort of works itself out. So what I want you to do is decide based on all of this, what would you like to go through, right? Now, beyond that, the other further complication is because you are using a browser wallet, there is so much security you have to be aware of, or lack of security. If you are the type of person who downloads random things on the internet, click on random links, you could compromise all of your crypto. So if you do work on chain, one of the things I talk about a lot, and I will make a video on this in this series, is number one, don't click random links. Don't connect your wallets to sites you're not 100% certain of. Make sure you have a hardware wallet, because this also protects you in case your computer gets compromised. The first thing that would happen is someone would take all your crypto and send it to their wallet. And if you're on chain, you have no one to call. At least if you're with Coinbase, Robinhood, or Kraken, you can call them up if something happens and they will make sure things are taken care of for you. That does not happen when you use a decentralized exchange. So I recommend you watch this video as well, airdrop farming with hardware wallets. This is sort of, I'm going to rename this video after, but I'll link it in the description below. This is basically how you protect yourself from any of those issues if you're on chain. Now, I'll do that after I have that loaded. But basically, one of the last things I want to say to you guys is I hope you enjoyed this video. A little longer than the other ones, but I thought it was very important to sort of show you guys the difference. I hope that helped. If you enjoy the content, guys, remember, this takes me a lot of work to put this together for you guys. I'm out here making sure I can help you guys as much as possible, to be successful in this bull run. Obviously, I remember a lot of complicated concepts. If you want to sort of clear out that noise and get my help, check out my services, link in the description below. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as well as liking and sharing the video, and that will make sure that you're set up for success this cycle. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.